take one. Do you remember back in 2004 when Jessica Simpson's little sister went on Saturday Night Live and her lip sync track skipped, so she did the hokey pokey and turned herself straight off the face of the earth?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
People were outraged. Like, I remember being outraged, and not because, you know, Jessica Simpson's little sister did a bad thing, but it was the music industry setting this very ugly precedent of, we're gonna lie to your face like you're some sort of actual moron, and you're just gonna have to deal with it because we're the only show in town. Believe it or not, people didn't like that. Yeah, it turns out people don't like to be lied to, especially when they're tuning into a live musical performance and presented with anything but. So of course, Jessica Simpson's little sister took the music industry's fuck up square on the chin, and her career never fully recovered from that. Like, she was essentially blacklisted. I'm pretty sure she had to move to North Korea.
Yeah! I'll just move to North Korea. I'll just move to North Korea. Okay? Okay. I'll just move to North Korea.
Okay.
But out of all that, something very cool happened. Almost like a phoenix rising from Arizona came the emergence of this new audio-visual platform that we call YouTube. And what a concept, right? A community-driven platform designed and perpetuated entirely by people. And all of a sudden, the music industry wasn't the only show in town. And people were making and sharing their own music. People were supporting each other. People were dictating a portion of the market, and people were deciding what has merit and what doesn't.
People selling people to people.
I love YouTube for that. And yeah, I mean, I hate that it ultimately became everything it ever said it wouldn't. But as a musician, I respect the foundation that it was built on. And to this day, I feel very fortunate, as we all should, that we, if we choose to, get to be a very small part of what made YouTube special in the first place. All you really need is a willingness to explore. And there's so much to explore here. It never ceases to amaze me just how many extraordinarily gifted and self-sufficient musicians you can find just by clicking on a video and kind of following the breadcrumbs. You never know where it might take you, but I always find the destination is worth the journey. Even to this day, it's still exciting to me. It's still fun to me.
It's still real to me, damn it!
We just finished watching the new Beatles documentary that came out not too long ago, and I'll be honest, I'm kind of going through a pretty serious bout of Beatlemania right now.
I got a fever!
I just had to learn some new Beatles songs, so naturally, I hit up YouTube to see if there was anything new or exciting that people were doing with the material that I could, you know, find inspiration from. And I settled on the song Blackbird. And look, we all know Blackbird, right? We're basically born into it, especially if you're a guitarist. It's almost a rite of passage to learn that song as a stepping stone to something more advanced. I mean, if you're a guitarist and you don't know Blackbird, I mean, what are we even talking about here, guy? I don't know Blackbird for shit.
Cut my cock off.
Oh, my Lord.
But I found this cover that absolutely floored me. When I saw it, I knew this is the one, this is the guy. I'd never heard of him before. His name is Corey Asbury. And he did this sit-down acoustic performance that was just unbelievable. Like, I actually wanted to show you guys a little bit of that, if you'll indulge me. Here.
Yeah.
Blackbird, take one.
Okay, well, maybe we'll stop it there. I don't want Sony to rip my channel into 1,000 little pieces like it so often does, but basically, Corey goes on to perform a version of Blackbird that makes the Beatles look like fucking ISIS. I mean, he just killed it. It was so smooth and so heartfelt. I don't know if I'd ever heard anyone play it that well. I'll leave a link below so you guys can check it out, and I highly recommend you do. It was so good, in fact, that I almost felt inclined to say it was perfect. And it was at that word where things kind of started to unravel. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but Corey did something at the beginning of that video that was a little bit sus. And the more I thought about it, the more it really started to bug me. Here, I'll run it back, and I want you to see if you notice what he did.
Yeah. Blackbird, take one. Take one. Take one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick on Corey a little bit in this video. Not with any malintent, let me just reiterate with all sincerity, Corey is a fantastic performer on an entirely other level. What I'm about to criticize him for is actually something we all do, every single one of us, every single day of our lives. And poor Corey, when I saw him do it, it was kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back. It's nothing personal, but I am seeing this happen more and more. And I kind of just feel the need to state the obvious here. That wasn't take one. Wile E. Coyote was fast, up and running in the blink of an eye. The gruesome twosome never cried about their beat-up hearse, even though they were the worst. They never did come in last, 'cause nobody's perfect. And that's alright, 'cause perfect can't hold you in the middle of the night and say, darling, we'll get 'em the next time. Harley Quinn could win him with a spin and a twirl. She wasn't honest or right, but she was decent for a girl. The brain was bright, and though he tried with all his might, he never managed to take over the world. Nobody's perfect, and that's alright, 'cause perfect can't hold you in the middle of the night and say, darling, we'll get 'em the next time. Zenigata was a really good cop, but he never got over the one he couldn't stop. Sometimes you gotta give yourself a break, son. Life gets hard if you don't take one. Johnny Bravo and Pepe Le Pew and all the worry and woe they put the lady through. Qu'est-ce que c'est un monde foule de chats, les mieux, les peurs, les peines de l'âme. scheming his life on worn out toes. Though the money never showed, he had a daughter and a beautiful wife. 'Cause nobody is perfect. And that's alright, 'cause perfect can't hold you in the middle of the night and say, darling, we'll get 'em the next time. That's right, darling, we'll get 'em the next time.
Moon River, take one. Photograph, take one. Blackbird, take one.
Now, we could sit here and argue the validity of such a claim. I don't know about you, but in my experience, take one typically goes a little something like this. That being said, let me pose two scenarios for you. Scenario one. Corey hits record, walks calmly to a seat, situates himself, and says, Blackbird, take one. Before recording just a flawless rendition of a very difficult song. No missed notes, no fret buzz, no room noise, no feedback, no puzz, no buzz. Just take one. What else you got?
Bada bing, bada boom, I'm done. Learn from a professional, kid.
Scenario two. Corey hits record, walks calmly to a seat, situates himself, and says, Blackbird, take one. 147 times. Now again, I'm not here to rag on Corey. Plenty of people have already done that to him in the comments of that video. Even with his millions of views and diehard evangelical supporters, which we'll get into, they kind of leaned in on him a little bit. And that's unfortunate because Blackbird is one of my favorite songs of all time. And Corey's version of that song is one of my favorite versions of one of my favorite songs of all time. I mean, he did it so well. He did it in real time, entirely by himself with just a guitar and a microphone. As someone who also does that, just as many of you, I'm sure you can understand and appreciate just how difficult that is. But to that same extent, I'm sure you can also understand that he didn't do it in one take. I'm sorry, but I've listened to a lot of his music. It's all phenomenal. It's all extraordinary, but it's all under the guise of that same bullshit. I mean, here's the video he posted before that one.
Moon River, take one.
And here's the video he posted after that one.
Yeah. Photograph, take one.
That's, I know what you're doing right now, and I don't like it.
This is a problem because remember, I might be picking on Corey here, but he's doing something that we all do, every single one of us, every single day of our lives. He's presenting the illusion of perfection, as if anything short of perfect is completely devoid of worth or praise or even just the most basic acknowledgement. And he's not wrong. I mean, it's not enough to be amazing anymore. Amazing is like baseline now. Like if you're amazing at something, just fucking get in line behind the rest of them. I don't know what to tell you, boss. Corey truly did legitimately perform that song in a way I've never heard anyone do it before. For him to completely undermine the integrity of his efforts by presenting it under this false pretense of, oh, by the way, that craziest fucking thing you ever saw me do? Yeah, I did that in one take. Oh, and all that other stuff too. Yeah, I did that in one take. Like, why? Other than patting yourself on the back, you stand to gain nothing and you stand to lose, I don't know, any and all credibility. I mean, had he not done that, I would have walked away thinking, wow, this guy is one of the best performers I've seen in a while. But instead I walked away thinking, wow, this guy lied to my face like I'm some sort of actual moron. And I guess he plays the guitar or something. It kind of reminds me of that video of the marathon runner that celebrated before he finished the race, and then he like fucking stiff-armed the guy that was about to beat him. Like, congratulations, I guess. Not only could I not understand why Corey did that, I had the strangest feeling of deja vu when I saw it, because it was so reminiscent of something in its intent to deceive, that I couldn't quite put my finger on it until I remembered Jessica Simpson's little sister on Saturday Night Live. I had seen that trick before, and when I remembered whose trick it actually was, I realized it wasn't actually Corey that did that at all. You lonely little drone, she call you on the phone. You say your heart is set in stone, and your soul is alone. How you gonna make it when you're on your own, and your heart is set in stone, soul is alone. Ooh, hey yeah, hey yeah. Oh, hey yeah. It was a gift from God or Esteban. Do you remember Esteban's gift of guitar? That particle board bunch of horse shit.
The guitar, the video,